parties and stuff like that, and we would always like have to put on plays, and everybody in the school, because there were so few of us, everybody had to participate, so we all had to be some character. And I specifically remember being a Care Bear in a Christmas program one year.
Do you remember which one?
I don't remember. I just remember I had to hold like a Care Bear, like the shape of a Care Bear in front of me, and like sit there during the program. And then I think I might have had a line, or we might have sang a song or something. But I do remember the field, because I remember we would have field days there, and we would I remember running there, because like the school back part of it where the playground was is surrounded by crops.
Yeah.
So I remember running.
So literally the school is in the middle of a crop area. Yeah. Like it's not a main road, but it's a road that goes into town. What the town is, which is the trading post, and something called a maritile, or like on the other side. So the school is in the middle of like some road, and then it's crop everywhere. Like I said, there's like a food store right across the street from the trading post, which is the gas station. And I think it's like a small food store where you like it would be like the equivalent of like a corner store here, like if you lived in a neighborhood, where you would go get like basic things, like maybe you ran out of oil or you needed to pick up something fast and quick. And that's basically the extent of the area. I didn't believe you. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't believe you when you said you lived like down some farm road. Like I was like, oh, okay, well it must be a less populated area than where I live. But I mean, you lived in the back roads of like even now today, the road you live, the houses that your home is on, it's still dirt. Like but you can tell they like put down other dirt so it can be like not, so it can be even. But I can imagine what that road looked like even then, right? So like but 10 years of your life spent there.
Well, I still remember I remember one time it rained, and this is just like a foggy memory, but I remember one time it rained and it was flooding, and I remember my uncle driving through the water with us in the car, and like it was like water was like really like high and stuff, so it was like one of those areas, like, and we would walk to get our water. Like we didn't have.
So y'all didn't have running water in the home?
Well, we didn't have like water that we could drink, so we had to go to walk. We walked to go get the water that we would drink. So,
but you also talked about how you also had an outhouse.
Yeah, we did have an outhouse too. So, like I said, like some of my memories are foggy from everything that happened back then. But I remember, like, you know, it was just like it was a different like experience growing up there, like literally in the middle of nowhere. And you know, one of the questions that you had asked me was like, "Did you have a TV?" And I was like, I couldn't remember.
When we were there,
I couldn't remember whether we did or not. But then I did, and then I did remember that we did have one, because we would watch. Like the Dukes of Hazzard and stuff like that.
Saturday morning cartoons.
I remember that we would sit there and we would watch those things. So I do remember we had a TV at one point, and so but at some
point,
yeah. But it was a nice, like it was. I remember like just different things, like being at the school, like having the field days, and like being able to run in the yard in the back, and I don't know, it just feels like. It was nice to be able to see everything again, and just to like feel like that sense of familiarity with being there again, and that sense of being like, oh, okay, like this is like a part of my story. Like this is a big part of like my story.
It was an interesting area. I really did like the space. I liked the fact that it had history. We did visit the church, and you talked about how you would sit in the front and how they would make fun of you for sitting in the front, because a lot of Hispanic families never sat in the front, but you on yourself decided that you wanted to sit in the front. Like the fact that you've told me all these stories in the past, I can visualize it now. Even though I wasn't there, like I can now get a sense of like what you were talking about.
And when you were saying like that, you know, it was a lot of people, like it was mostly the farmers and the farm, like the farmers and the farm workers, and so we shared the school, we shared the church, we shared
not the farm owners.
The farm owners, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, we would share, like, so it was mostly either Hispanic or white is what there was there. Like there was really nothing else besides that. So it was like Hispanic or white, and that's what you saw everywhere. And so it was. I mean, it was a different like experience, and so just to like remember that is like crazy, because like, you know, everything is still there. Like a lot of it is still there, but a lot of it is abandoned now.
Yeah, it's long gone. Yeah, you can tell whoever used to be there, the majority. It looks like the majority of the people that were there aren't there anymore.
Yeah, I think now it's like hunting grounds. Like part of it is hunting grounds. So
some
like,
of it is, because there's deer out there, and it's still full of crop.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was nice going out there, and you even wanted to visit like even small towns over. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go visit this small town over. That's not too far." And it was still like a 15-20 minute drive away. And I was like, "That is not far." But you said y'all would even walk that sometimes. I was like, "Y'all are nuts." There's no way we would have been able to do something like that.
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't walk it often. Like I remember like specifically sometimes we would walk, but it was like not by choice.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the other thing that I think was stuck out to me was just like, so my parents were immigrants when we were there, so they they weren't documented. And so I vividly remember like running away from Border Patrol when I would see them driving down the street. Like that I would, not that I was running away from them, because I don't think they were like coming for us, but like we would hide. Like we were scared, like we were so paranoid of the idea that they would catch us and that we would go back. And so I remember vividly that when we would see them, we would run inside the house. And like going back this time, like they were everywhere. And like it just made me think, because my parents would have been about my age when we left the valley when I was 9, and it just made me think, like, not only back then but even now, like how if you're like in that situation, you're a farm worker and you have to like hide. Like it's easy to hide there because you can live in the back streets in the middle of a dirt road where nobody's gonna find you.
Yeah. You just have to be careful when you're like driving down the roads to not get pulled over.
Yeah, but then you have to be like Border Patrol
patrols the area.
Yeah.
Even far away.
Well,
like
that's what I'm saying.
We're literally an hour away from the actual border, and you have Border Patrol there.
What I'm saying, even down that dirt road, the immigration would drive by every once in a while.
Yeah.
So like I can't even imagine like how like that you had to live that carefully that you couldn't go anywhere. So like I only remember going to the beach there once. So I think for people that are undocumented, like you have like to have to hide and to have to be so careful. Like I didn't realize like it had never occurred to me like how like that was such a reality. But when I was asking about the beach and like why did we ever go to the beach, and it made sense to me then. I was like, oh well, how are you going to drive an hour and a half away when you knew that there were so many like not only immigration but also the police were
potential what an immigrant would consider potential danger.
Yeah, because we even got pulled over like this time it was just to tell us that our lights were like
not working.
One of our lights wasn't working, but even we got pulled over. So it was crazy like to realize like how careful you have to live when you're scared.
Yeah. But I think going back and visiting your childhood area, and you going, and now all the stories that you're going to keep telling us, and you're going to repeat, because we tend to do that sometimes when we have fond memories, we love to repeat them. I'm happy now that I get to at least visualize part of it with you. Yeah. So that was fun.
No, and it was nice. I enjoyed going there with you. Like I thought it was like nice to be able to take you, because I think sometimes we talk about our childhood memories and we're not able to share it with each other. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that was nice that you were actually able to see some of the things that I had talked about before. Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. Well, we definitely don't want to keep dragging this on. I told Juan that maybe we can potentially keep doing a few series about your childhood memories, and maybe even mine, because maybe I have some interesting ones. Who knows? Yeah. And with that, we'll leave you. All right. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.